This is the Token CEO podcast. I'm your host today, Jared Carrabis, alongside my co-host, Erika Nardini.
Live from New York.
Live from New York. I'm actually here. Yes.
All right, we ready? All right, Jared. I
Erika.
love you, but I understand you have a beef with me.
I do.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Well, you go first, and I will rebuttal.
Okay, I said that I love you.
You did.
Yep.
After the fact.
No.
That was like a shoot in me in the chest, and then put a little Band-Aid on it after and kiss it.
I always say I love you.
Yeah.
I said that you are the best at providing opinion. Like, everybody looks to you with the Red Sox. I think what you've done is amazing.
Thank you.
I said that you don't come to the office very much, which touche, you've got me today.
I'm here.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited about your response to this whole thing because it's awesome.
Because we were immediately number one after that.
Exactly. It was kind of exactly what I wanted.
I don't know if you can go higher than number one, but
hard to go.
We're
higher
gonna
than
try.
Number one. Yes, you should. Yep. And you're in the office. I like this. Like,
I'm here.
Girl gets what she wants.
Yeah. So I don't know how deep you want to go on this. There's when I was in New York, basically, like, I was super unhappy, and not in the actual building, very happy. Like the people here are my family.
New York sucks.
New York City sucks. Like, I hated it.
Especially for a Boston guy. Let's just talk about the difference.
For a Saugus guy.
Even
when I was in Boston, it's like I'm not like so. The number one thing that I said to Dave about coming here and everything is that during the season, I can't do my job efficiently if I'm here. Because it's like 4 hours on the train, 4 hours back. Yeah. Like, there's a doubleheader today.
Yeah, I got that.
So it's like I'm probably going to miss some of the Red Sox games, plural. And so I got a 2-bedroom apartment in Saugus. Shout out Saugus. And I turned one into a studio. So we do Morning Wood, we do Stay Hot or Not, and we do podcasts there. So it's like each wall is a different show. If I'm here, it's like it's a fucking Motel 6 background.
It is. And also, sorry, just to add to this conversation, one of the things that I really liked when I first met you was I think you've done since you were probably a teenager, from what I've seen from your book, is you make a world around you that is about the things that you care about. So I remember when I first joined and my first conversation with you, you were like, I have a gym. I have my weights set up. I got my microphone and my paraphernalia on the wall, and this is my world. And I think I have a lot of empathy for that because you come in here. This is a Motel 6. Nobody gives a shit about the Red Sox the way you do. Nobody's carving out the wall for you to have your perfect setup. Right. Everyone's like, I have the studio next. Are you going to get out? Right. So I have empathy for that. Yeah. So keep going.
So that's basically the main thing, because I know a lot has changed in the Barstool world over the last few years, and we're part of the PTSD world, where it's I didn't want to go to opening day. I was like, if I go to opening day, Dave's going to yell at me for being there. But if I go, he's going to yell at me for not posting videos while being there. And if I don't go, then he's going to be mad at me because I didn't go and cover it. So
do you get your head, the PTSD crew, do they get their head in a pretzel?
Yeah. You overthink it to the point where it's whatever I do is going to be wrong. So it's what will I get the most enjoyment out of before I get yelled at, type deal.
Okay, is that how you think about it?
Yeah,
okay.
So I went.
This used to be so Devlin's in the room right now, so this used to be Devlin used to literally carry around a notebook.
Yeah.
He would have a notebook of what I did today, just in case Dave was what'd you do today? And then even after Dave stopped giving a shit about what Devlin did all day, Devlin was like, here's still what I did today.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
So,
which I think actually is a great... It sucks a little bit to have that in your brain, but it also makes you highly, highly, highly effective.
For sure. And so it's almost weird in a sense when you're talking about, I need to be back in New York. Dave is he should be back in New York. I'm I'm not saying I want to stay in Boston because I love the nightlife and I want to go to Fenway. It's I just want to work more. When I'm here, it's 27 stop and chats. It's all right, lowering the bar, a lot of fun. Love doing that show, being on stool scenes. That's great. When I wake up in the morning, it's blog, it's podcast, it's video, and then I take 2 hours to go to the gym, and then I'll have dinner, and then the games start at 7, and I watch those till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then we do morning wood. So it's I have my whole day carved out, where Dave has this warped perception sometimes. I think he's coming around now. But it's just because you're in the office does not mean that you're working. There's a lot of people just
Do you find that you're less productive here?
Yes.
Because that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
That you're significantly less productive here, and I agree with that. I understand what you're saying. I also think that you're less in the business of Jared Carrabis here.
For sure.
You're more in the business of, hey, Vibs, I'll do you a favor. I'll be on your show. Hey,
I
Frank,
love doing
like,
it. I think it's more just like it's like a special pot, like in wrestling. Like you're with
Yeah.
WWE now. Like Brock Lesnar comes back like 5 times a year, and when he comes back, it's like, oh fuck, and like there's value there versus like, well, there's Jared again. Like, he's just walking
I
in.
just miss having you around, though. Like, I think you are a great ingredient with other people. I think you are, you know, we talk about you a lot, which is that you are a great talent beyond baseball.
Right. Well, that's why I love doing Kirk's show. So like now I'm doing Kirk's show
How's
once
that
a
going?
week. It's awesome. Like I love it. I mean, like now that we don't have radio, like that's my outlet to do non-baseball stuff. And I think Kirk and I have a great relationship.
Yeah, you
like
guys are great together.
Like we have a great dynamic.
Yeah.
It's almost like if Dave is my dad, then Kirk is kind of like the stepdad / weird uncle.
Okay, great.
Like
Yeah, that
you go to
seems
him
like
for like
Kirk's
weird
role.
advice.
Yeah.
So I enjoy doing that show, and I enjoy doing stuff outside of baseball and having.
Do you
that
miss
be my
being
outlet.
here with people?
Yeah, no doubt. I miss being in the office. Like I've said a million times, if I could pick up this building and put it in Boston,
Put it in Saugus.
I would be there every single day. It's not about being here. I love everybody here.
How do we do both then? Like, how do you do you want to be the Brock where it's like 5 years, momentous occasion, we build a live stream around you? Like, how would you meld the two?
So I think anytime, like this is the perfect example. Give me a reason to be here, and I'll be here. So when I asked like how
Be a
deep you want,
bitch to you on
no,
my
just
podcast.
like just be like, all right, like we want to do this with you today. Boom,
Okay.
I'm here. Like I can suck it up for a day and watch the game on the train or like listen to it because the Wi-Fi on the train is too shitty. But like, how deep do you want to get with it? What I meant by that was that, like, I tweeted that picture of me at the speed pitch with White Sox Dave, and I looked like I was 140 pounds because I probably was close to that. And that was because during a full-length baseball season, I was not making time for myself at all. Like I was not like right now. Like
when you were here or in
yes.
Saugus or just in
No,
general?
when I was in New York. Like when I came to New York, I was like 185 and beefy.
Okay.
And then I just withered away during baseball seasons, and I would try to bring it back up during the off season, and then it would wither away during the season.
Do you always wither away during baseball?
No, because when I lived in Saugus,
You had your setup.
I built a gym in the house because I was too afraid to have a gym membership because I was like,
Because you might not be
yes, like
at
if
your
something
phone when,
breaks,
yeah,
then
yeah.
Dave's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Where's the
I love
blog?"
that about you. I love that about you.
So
Yep.
I spent like $5,000 on gym equipment, built it so it's like if something breaks, I can just walk into the next room and I can blog it, and Dave's not gonna get mad. When I came here, it was a different story. Like I have a 700 square foot apartment.
There's no gym equipment in there.
No, there's not. So
Did you have a roommate here?
no, I did not. But in 2019, I mean, like, it was real bad. And then I was like, well, I need to, like, start
You just weren't happy.
I needed to make time for myself.
Yep.
And I know that we've talked about this before, and, like, it can be funny, but at the end of 2018, that's when the parade was, and then the feedback after, like, I just put, you know, 1 million hours into that season, and we thought we crushed
This is the parade where you're, like,
Yes.
guzzling beers on the
Yes.
boat.
And the feedback from
Which
Dave,
is a big deal to get on the boat.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And the feedback from Dave was like, well, you fucked up because like you weren't promoting merch on that very last day. Like there was no like, hey, you killed it. Like we got like a bunch of merch bonuses, and like we were like, I think I got like 30,000 followers in the 1 month of October. Nothing. No acknowledgement of that. The end of 2019, that was when Dave sent me the text message saying, you fucking suck, because that was when I thought I had strep, and I was waiting to get the test to get clear, because Dave, another thing, if you come in and you're sick, Dave gets mad. If you stay home because you're sick, Dave gets mad.
How
this was
much time
pre-pandemic.
do you spend thinking about
All
Dave?
day. Every
Still
day.
to this day?
Yeah. Like it's
I had a boss like that once. I had my head in a pretzel. I was like, what's she going to think if I do this? What's she going to think if I do that? What if I'm fucked either way?
yeah.
It's anxiety.
So then
Okay.
then it's like the what was it, Cyber Monday or Black Friday? Like there were other people that weren't promoting. Who was the only person they called out by name in the email addressed to the entire company? It was me. So
But why weren't you promoting?
I can tell you that story off the record unless
Okay.
you really want to know. I'm comfortable telling the story.
I mean, how did we not tell the story,
mean,
Jared?
I was-
Look at those eye flashes.
Yeah,
You
I mean, it
just,
wasn't like a
there's
good thing. It was a
sparkles,
bad
right?
thing. It was a
Okay.
bad thing. Yeah, like I was I was in a bad place Thanksgiving, and like my family like thought that I was dead. So like my family, like the morning.
Ellen?
Yes, the morning of Black Friday, they were like about to do like a wellness check with like the police at my apartment. So then I get the email from Dave on top of that, and then he tweets about it. I'm like, it would probably just be better to just do it at this point.
I should have died.
Yeah. So that's what was going, and like
The
Dave,
Jared Carrabis memorial shirts.
Yeah.
Would have,
He would have sold the fuck out of those shirts. Cyber Monday. It would have been a whole.
Can we
whole
laugh
to-do.
about this, or is
of
that,
course?
I don't.
Yes, we
mean
can.
To, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm totally fine now. But yeah, like this past Thanksgiving was not great.
Dark.
Yeah. And like I'm not gonna make excuses with Dave. I'm not gonna be like, hey, by the way, Dave, like this was going on. It's like you kind of just wear it and you keep it moving. But yeah, no, I think now like that I'm home, I'm happy to be here when there's something to do, because the main point was like going to the gym and like exercising regularly and making that like 2 hours of the day that you just like make that for yourself. That's like my medication. So when Dave or you are like, hey, why aren't you in New York? It's like, give me a reason to like stop taking the medication. You know what I mean? Like if I can't go, I want a good reason why. Like, because otherwise I'm in Saugus I'm working around the clock there. So
yeah. I think the one thing you got wrong, and I don't question your work ethic. You have an impeccable work ethic.
I'm a robot.
You're an animal.
Yeah.
I remember you going on a date. You were going on a date like 3 years ago, and there was a game on, and you had your phone out. I remember going to a concert with you on a Saturday night.
Yes.
We went to Greta Van Fleet, and you
to
had
the
your
game.
phone out, and I was like, it's actually you're like Dave to me, where I think Dave will always make content. I think it's just like the air he breathes.
Right.
I think you will always be obsessed with baseball and the Red Sox. Like you will not, you'll be getting married and you'll be like, you'll have to schedule that for either a non.
It has to be January. I've already
has
thought about
to
it.
be, yeah. So I think I don't ever want you to think I question your work ethic. I think the thing that you're getting to in the stature that you have and the age that you are is like, you're not a kid. So like, don't wait for the invitation. Like you're getting the signals of like, hey, they miss you in New York. They want you in the mix. I think you should be like, hey, I'm coming once a month and I want to do a live stream, and Erika, they better set up my whole merch setup. I want to do a photo shoot. I want these guests from Kelly. Like my only thing is like, I like you in the mix here. I think you are a great ingredient. I think you're OG Barstool. I think you're funny. I think you are fiery. Like, I love that. I loved your reaction to this. Like, I think that that's what makes you're not passive, really, about anything you do.
No.
I don't fault you for wanting to be in your bubble and to have your mental health. Like, you need to do that. There are things bigger than Barstool Sports, you being one of them. But I do think don't wait. Like, I think like the signal we're giving is like, we liked you in the mix. So I don't know, let's find a way to make it work.
Right. Yeah.
Where that you feel like you're not just giving up the medicine.
For sure.
And that you're getting something from it.
Right. That's right, boy. That's why I think it's like, there has to be some sort of planning around it where, you know, it's like, oh, there's Red Sox, Yankees, like coming. Because I know that was Dave's big thing. He's like, well, you're not going to be in the mix with Hubs anymore. And it's like, is that really what you're basing my entire value around, is like shit talking Hubs? Like, I can do that from any corner of the internet. I don't have to be here for that. But yeah, I think that that's like a big misconception with the whole thing is misconception.
Yeah, that's
misconception.
Okay. Misconception.
With the whole thing is like, I love being here. Like, I love being in the office, and I love, like, every time I come back, like, I remember what I loved so much about it. Yeah. And it's like, it's not that I wanted to get away from everybody here. I think it was more just like, I needed to carve out time for myself, because if I didn't, I don't know that I would still be here. Like, there were other there were other instances of that, and it's always around the same time. It's always around like Black Friday. It's always around like Thanksgiving.
That's your kryptonite. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Cyber Monday, like that was probably like the worst day of my life. Like after that happened, I don't even know if I told you this. After like the speed pitch thing with White Sox Dave, I walked over to my desk. It was like that scene in Titanic.
Did it really bother you that he beat you?
It wasn't so much that. It was that I had like 500 tweets telling me to kill myself after that. So I walk over to my desk.
Just for people who...
Yeah, we did that. So
as much as I would like to think everyone listens to our Cyber Monday telethon.
So 2019 Cyber Monday, I get approached to do this.
We concoct this big idea.
Yeah, it's like a speed pitch thing with White Sox Dave. And at the time, I even said, I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. I was like, I've lost a lot of weight. Like, I definitely am not going to throw hard. And like mentally, I don't know if I can handle the embarrassment of like losing this thing. Like the fictional character of the Rocket is based on being able to throw hard. And if I don't do that, which I know I'm not going to because of my physical and mental state, this is going to be catastrophic. I almost put it on the same stage, or if not worse, than if I went to Rough and Rowdy and just got knocked out in the first round. Like, how would I handle that mentally? Not well. So
I think it's also interesting just for this conversation of there's the Rocket and there's Jared. And
Jared's kind of a pussy. like Jared is like very much like a mama's boy that is very
but I don't
like
think
kind-hearted.
That makes you a pussy. Like I feel the same way. Like I feel like I'm like so deeply sensitive, and everyone thinks I'm like a raging bitch CEO. And like I can be both, but in your heart, it's gooey in there.
Right.
And I think that one thing that I think people don't necessarily recognize that's such a hard part of all of your jobs is the reaction and the relentless attack. Like, yes, there is the way that you are all beloved. And then there are people here who just don't give a shit what people have to say. They have Teflon skin and steel hearts. And then there are White Sox Dave beats you because you're not feeling strong. You're not feeling confident. Your body isn't where you want it to be. Right. And then there's 100 people on Twitter, or 10 people on Twitter 100 times telling you to kill yourself. Like that's not easy.
Right.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's not easy, and
it can take a real toll.
For sure. And kind of like in moments like that, like there's probably been 3 instances where I've been that low. It was the Thanksgiving this past time, and then there was one other one that I can't remember now.
All Thanksgivings?
Pretty much Thanksgiving.
Not your holiday.
Yeah, like around that time. And so I ended up like, after it happened, I walked to my desk and I just sat there for hours. Every employee left. They took down the like batting cage and it was gone. It was just me and the fucking cleaning person. Casey Smith. And I know that we have like this on-screen rivalry and everything, but I don't know if I would still be here if it wasn't for her. She came back. She came back to the office and physically removed me because I would have sat there all fucking night. I don't know. Like my whole thing was like, oh, you know what it was? It was the Super Bowl. Yeah. It was the Super Bowl in Atlanta. Miami was great. And Atlanta, like I can't not have my like alone time or I go fucking crazy.
Atlanta was the year before Miami, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So when we were in Atlanta...
2018 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or no, 2019. 2019.
This is the beginning. 19 was a bad year.
Okay, 19 sucked. Okay.
So these 2 times connect together because at the Super Bowl, I had Spider change my flight back to Boston because I was like, instead of New York, because I was like, I don't want to die in New York. I was like, I want to die in Boston. Oof. So I had him change my flight. And that's why, like, when I was sitting there at the office, I was like, again, totally want to die right now, but I don't want to be in New York when it happens. So, yeah, like, those are the 3 times. It was the Super Bowl in Atlanta, it was the speed pitch, and it was this past Thanksgiving. Like, those were the 3 big ones. And I was like, I need to do something about this. Like, I need to be proactive about it. Like, the people around me can only do so much to, like, physically remove me from that. Like, I have to make the choice.
So what'd you do?
So one of my buddies was kind of in the same space, and around Christmas time. So every Christmas night I go to his house and I kind of was just like, let's fucking do this. Like, so he's my workout partner and we hold each other accountable. Like there's been so many days where I like don't want to go or I don't feel up to going, but like, I know that he'd be in the parking lot and it's the same.
You're going to let him down.
Yeah. Like it's, it's just like, eating healthier and just like making the time for yourself and having someone to keep you accountable. Like that's been so huge to have that. And I know that if it wasn't for him, no chance I would have stuck with it. Cause every year it's like, I'll try in the off season and then baseball season will start. And it's like, well, back to fucking baseball.
Yeah, you kind
season.
of drowned yourself and you don't work on the things.
Yeah. And it's just so easy to make an excuse to not make time for it.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to be like, I'm really tired. So, I mean, I'm going to rest during this time. It's like, no. Like, fucking go. Like, yeah.
All right. So give everyone here who I'm sure wants to follow you now and root for you and not tell you to kill yourself, how they should like give a pitch for all your shows.
You know what? If you're a baseball fan, like starting 9, we do everything we can to grow the game and make it fun, because I know that's very stuffy and most of the people that cover it are very old and boring and they hate fun. Dallas and I try to make it fun. That's really all we do. And Section 10 is my Red Sox show. If you're a Red Sox fan, it's the place to be for Red Sox fans. And then Kirk Minahan show, which I've found like a weird home with them.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, it is a weird kind of.
But you like it there.
I love it. And I will say this. I mean, starting 9 has been number one on that trending chart before, but that is 1,000% me going on Kirk's show and talking about.
Minifans are driving you up the ranks.
And Minifans are
That's
like, you know
nice.
what? I don't give a fuck about baseball, but I'm gonna go
I'm
subscribe to this to like support my guy. Yeah. So it's a
the Minifans are great like that.
Yeah, it's a totally strange corner of the internet, but they're super supportive.
Why do you think it's strange? What do you think makes them strange? Are they any stranger than Stoolies?
There are some comparisons to be made in terms of the passion and the dedication, but I think that they don't miss a thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Barstool fan, it's like, yeah, I like Part of My Take. Like, I like Dave Portnoy's show. And, like, there's so many things going on. But if you're a Kirk Minahan show fan, like, there's only Kirk's world. And there's so many characters in it. And they follow every little bit of it. Like, there's no time to not follow one little detail. So.
Yeah, they are. I would agree with that. Kirk is also razor sharp on attention to detail. Like, they kind of follow him.
Well, he's on the spectrum for sure.
Yeah. Do you think you're on the spectrum?
1,000%. Yeah. Yeah. I think, and I've said this to my mom, and she was like, "No, you don't." 1,000%.
Oh, you're definitely on the spectrum. I think.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think you can like eat, sleep, and
it's a secret. It's a superpower.
I always am in your corner. Like,
Thank you.
Always. And I love that you like rose up on that one. That was amazing. Like, if only everyone was so easily motivatable.
All right.
And I like seeing you here.
It's good to be here. I'll come back more often. I'll do my best.
Well, no, let's just make the occasion.
Figure out a schedule. Yes.
Well, let's just make the occasion so that you feel coming here gives something to you, doesn't just take something away.
Right.
Because I don't think anybody wants that.
Correct. Yeah.
You know?
And it's definitely something that we can do. Like, there's a lot of baseball fans here. We can do something if we're proactive and
yeah.
it.
All right, I can help with that. Why don't I help with that?
Beautiful.
Okay. Do you want a hug?
I would love to hug.
Okay, let's hug. All right, love you.
It's good to see you.
You too. Oh, Jerry.